トラ吉です。前回は謎解きにものすごく苦労しました。2つも大きい謎がありました。今回は被害者のお姉さんのメーガンに話を聞くところからスタートします。それでは始めましょう。いや難しかった。
It looks like this woman is single, but she has feelings for someone.
もう一回様子を見る感じかな。Eyes brimming with tears. No wedding ring. Betty and Donald. あ、昨日の
She is looking so intensely at this photo.But is it really a sister that she's studying in this manner?
めっちゃ揺れてるんだけどお姉さん大丈夫かな。
They made the perfect couple, am I correct?
Yes, in a way. She was pretty and he...
Well?
He's a bright man with a promising career ahead of him. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous.Oh, a true gentleman.
I hear a note of envy in your voice.
You must have heard wrong.
今日はベティとフィアンセのドナルドはどんなカップルでしたか。もう妹は可愛くて、でフィアンセのドナルドは超いい人だった、本当に超いい人だったって言ったら、ポアロがなんかめちゃめちゃジェラシーを感じますけどってお姉さんに言って、メーガンはは何言ってんの、それあんたの聞き方が悪いんじゃないって言いました。では質問します。 Ask he if Donald was in love with Betty. Ask if Donald was jealous. ドナルドは嫉妬深かったかと、ドナルドはベティを愛していたか。嫉妬深かったか。
You have not mentioned Donald's jealousy.
There's nothing to say.
Accused for lying. Her corporate.
You are a poor liar, Mademoiselle Bernard.Excuse
me, Mr. Poirot, but I do not see why you are interested in our humble little crime.
It would appear that your sister's murder is the second in a series that we have to stop as quickly as possible. The first was in Andover, and the same as your sister, the murderer sent me a letter informing me that a crime would be committed in that town. Now can I count on your honesty?
Yes, you have my confidence, Mr. Poirot. Don is a quiet and sensitive young man.Slightly reserved too, and as is often the case with reserved people, when he flew into a temper, he completely lost control. He could be so violent. Betty was frightened.
And when was this?
The first time was about a year ago. But they rowed more recently. Donald found out that Betty had lied to him. She said she was going out with a girlfriend, but she went out for dinner with a married man.It was an awful scene. She told him that until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying one day.
Well?
He'd commit murder.
ドナルドはどんな人かを聞いた時に、妹さんは以前の話なんだけど、妹さんは女友達と出かけるって言ったのに、実は既婚者男性と一緒にご飯を食べてたっていうところをドナルドに見つかっちゃって、ドナルドがブチ切れて、いつか殺してやるみたいなことを言ったというような感じっぽい。Ask he Donald really could have killed Betty. ドナルドは本当に殺したと思うかと、こっちがね、 ask he if she feared that Donald's a suspect. こっちは本当にドナルドが犯人かを疑ってるって聞いてるんだと思います。
So you were afraid that he would become our main suspect. I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Exactly. Had you not told me about the case, I would never have dared to tell you about this little matter. Don loved Betty with all his heart. I can't imagine for one instant that he would hurt her.
Very good, Mademoiselle Barnard. Thank you for your help.
Fraser is at the Ginger Cat. The police haven't spoken to him, but they want to.
Très bien, Hastings. Let's see him now. Au revoir, mademoiselle. My deepest condolences to your parents.
Of course, Mr. Poirot. And don't be too hard on Don. He's more fragile than he looks.
If you say so. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
What had Betty planned to do with her evening? 彼女はどんな計画を立てていた？Betty had probably planned to meet someone that evening. 男性と会う予定、旦那さんじゃない、フィアンセではない人と会う予定はあった。それはここからわかる。と、あとはこれかな？違うか。Used to go great deal. これでもないか。これとここは違う。Betty was seeing other men as well. ドナルド以外の男性と会う予定だった。映画にもいたのか。Betty used Donald because he had dated with another man. Did Betty know her silent? なんだっけ、ベティは彼女殺人者だと知ってたっていう、知らなかったんじゃないかな。殺されてるから知るわけないよねってことか。Betty before taking her peach.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Oh, what is Megan Barnett's behavior hiding? 何を隠している？彼女は何を隠している？ Megan really like Donald 好きだってこと隠してるよね。Intelligent. Megan loved her sister. Megan is now Barnard's sole heir. Megan kept looking at the photo to Donald and Betty. これかね。Megan has a sore spot to Donald. そう。妹を見てる手でドナルド見てた。Did Megan Barnard have motive for killing her sister? メーガン・バーナードは彼女を殺したいと思っていた。これかな。違うか。これ1個だから1個1個やってこう。違う。知ってたの？ Megan was jealous of Betty. さて次の行動はクエスチョンドナルド・フレスター。彼に会いに行こう。なんかさっきあれがなんだっけ、ジンジャーなんとかどのこうのって言ってたから、そこ行けばいるのかな。お、
You've seen Fraser, Hastings. What is your feeling?
He's a big chap. Fragile isn't exactly the word that springs to mind. I talked to his landlady before seeing him. She went to bed at 11. Fraser wasn't home yet.
Bien. Megan Barnard said he's a reserved character but with a nasty temper. We will see if this is the case.
ドナルドは怒りやすいとは言ってたねってか。お、いた。
What a pity. I don't have any chance to make it work.
I don't want this young man here. Be quick and do what you must.
さっさと終わらせろって言われたのかな。こっち側とか来たことなかったけど、特に見る。
This is a well-laid table. Nothing is out of place, and above all, no creases.
じゃ
How do you do, Mr. Fraser?
Hercule Poirot. Mr. Hastings said you wanted to speak to me.
Yes. I know that it may not be at the right time, but I would like to ask you a few questions.
あいくつか質問したいんだけど。
This man looks suspicious.
ダーク。クランブルドクローズ。なんか
Leave me alone.
お酒めっちゃ飲んでウイスキー。
Donald Fraser is in a terrible state, as if he hadn't slept all night. And he's drinking White Horse.
Leave me alone. Tell me that it's a mistake. That Betty isn't dead.
Sadly, your lady friend has been murdered, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, Betty, if only you'd listened.
Ask if he saw Betty yesterday afternoon. 昨日の午後ベティを見たと。Ask what would have happened if she'd listened to him. Say that Betty only ever did as she pleased. 2問目が、彼女が彼の言葉を聞いていたらどうなっていたか、どんなことが起こったかを聞くと、3つ目が、この3つ目の質問はひどくて、この昇進のフィアンセに対して、まあお宅のベティちゃんは下湯にしただけだから、あんたが気に病むことはないよっていうっていう。これ怒らせるだけだよね。まあ普通にこれ聞こうか。
Did you visit Betty yesterday afternoon?
No, I haven't seen Betty for 2 days. I was at the office yesterday afternoon.
Can you prove that?
Of course. But why this question? Betty died yesterday evening, didn't she?
ベティとは2日会ってない。それって証明できるって聞かれて、もちろんできるけど、そもそも彼女が死んだのは昨晩なんでしょう。なんでそんなこと聞くのと言って、彼はびっくりしてます。Ask he like ウイスキーが好きなのって聞くか、Tell him that彼に Tell him that he is a suspect. あなたが容疑者なんですよって聞く。
Betty was murdered during the night, but that does not prove that she did not meet her murderer earlier in the day.
So am I a suspect?
Everybody close to Betty is a suspect, Mr. Fraser. I would be a very poor detective if I did not examine all possible eventualities. Do you know what Betty's plans were yesterday evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
まああーたが容疑者だよって言ったら、いやだからその時いなかったのにってもう一回聞き直されて、まあまあそうは言っても全ての可能性を考えるから、もちろんあなたは容疑者だよっていう話をして、なんだっけ、昨日の夜の婚約者の予定を知ってるって聞いたら、なんか昨日はお姉さんと一緒にご飯を食べるって言ってたけどっていう話ですね。でここで2つ質問。 Ask why he believed her、なんで彼女を信じるのっていうのと、2つ目が Specify that her sister was in London。 彼女はロンドンにいたんだよ。ロンドンにはいないよね。
And you believed her?
And why not, sir? She was my fiancée.
That did not stop her from lying to you before. Betty was not a bad girl, but she did like to take advantage of her success with men.
How dare you sully her memory?
なんでそんな彼女が言ったことを信じるのって聞いたら、もちろんだってフィアンセだから信じるに決まってるじゃないかって言って、いやそんなこと言っても以前嘘ついて既婚の男性とご飯食べに行ったりとかしてるじゃんっていう話ですね。さあどっちだろう。質問は Inform him that there is a killer to find か Apology for having been Inform him 彼に知らせる There is a killer to find キラーを見つけるよって伝えるか、Apology for having been
Please excuse me if I appear to be brutal. I understand that this is a difficult time for you.
So you understand why I don't feel like talking, Mr. Poirot?
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Yes, he's all yours, Chief Inspector. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
さっきの質問はキラーを見つけるか、怒らせちゃってごめんねっていう質問なんだけど、怒らせてちゃってごめんねって言わなきゃよかったね。キラーを見つけるよって言ってあげればよかった。さて次の、考察。 Did do not have motive for ready the murder. Did Donald have a motive for ドナルドはフィアンセを殺す動機があるか。 Does not have an Donald was very much in love with Donald was violent man 違うか。1 Dearest Seatbelt Betty to go out a great deal. The victim has marking on the neck. The two murders were premeditated and were carried out by some murder. Two murders なんだ。Do not have an アリバイ。彼はアリバイを持っていないか、しかし彼は Donald was a violent man 違うか。彼女アリバイこれとこれかな。 あった。Donald had the motive for killing Betty. なんだっけ、ジェラス、嫉妬から、ベティを殺す動機は持っていた。Does not have an alibi. アリバイはない。2日見てないって言っただけ。Does do not have a motive for all the murders. すべての殺人にモチーフあるか。 Victim marks the neck was very much in love Betty. これ一個一個やってきゃいいんだけど。Donald may have killed Betty, but he does not have motive for miss. アイシャーさんには関係ないからね。Return to the crime scene.
Hastings looks silly tease. He really doesn't like Fraser. Hastings is bound to tell me what he thinks about Fraser later on. Now is not the right time. No need to insist. I will certainly have the opportunity to question him again.
こっちもなんか行くとこないし。どうせここまた鏡だね。ポーラさんの大好きな鏡ですよ。出ましょう。クライムシーンに行きます。
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely jealous.
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Jap to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree, without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars. Bon, I think we have enough elements. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
I can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene. The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6. Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a coat.
Remove the belt.
They keep walking. Then she removes her belt.
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise. The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Everything appears to match the crime scene, Monsieur Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
自分でベルト外したのか。苦しかったから。なるほど。
Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser. But by timing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very generous of him.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, Monsieur Hastings.
ロンドンへ戻ろ Go back to London. はい、もう見たからいいよね。かわいそうに。というわけで、
Right, back to London. There is nothing more for us to do here.
さっきのフィアンセが逮捕されたのかな。
Jap has decided to reveal details to the press. The alphabet murder is now famous.
It is not a bad idea. The more people who know, the greater our chances of finding out something of interest.
Poirot, I have a bad feeling. Poor Mr. Poirot, not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps. Let us see if you can do any better this time. This time, it's an easy one. Churston on the 30th. Do try and do something about it. It's a bit dull having it all my own way, you know. Good hunting. Ever yours, ABC. Good hunting. Did you hear that, Poirot? The murderer seems to be taking it all as a game, a challenge. He will strike on 30th in Churston. We must warn Scotland Yard.
Specify that it's the third today. Ask what he did it. 今日は何日って。
By the way, Hastings, what day is it?
Well, looking at the calendar, it's the 30th. No time to lose. We must prepare our suitcases for Churston.
Mon Dieu, it is already 10 o'clock. I will call Scotland Yard immediately.
今すぐスコットヤンドランドに行こう。
It is not the right time.
なんかをしなきゃいけないっぽい。スコットヤードに行こうって言ったの。
I lock my revolver in this drawer. I've not used it in a very long time.
机で考えたいのかな。そんな感じだね。
Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, they have not yet helped to find him. Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach. Killer struck at midnight.
結局さっきのフィアンセは犯人じゃなかったのかな。
It is not a good time.
まだなんかあんの？
Ah, some cool air.
寒いねってことか。コートを着るのかしら。自分で着てくださいよ。
Bexhill-on-Sea, Sussex. Population 24,703.
Hastings hunting.
Hastings' photo album. He is very proud of his bag.
コールスコットランドヤード。あ、コールときた。電話か。これだ。
Hello, chap. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Cheston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back.
次は Prepare to leave the Charleston。チャールストンに出かける準備をしよう。
It is not a good time.
違うの。これも違うのね。そのまま行けばいいのかな。いそいそと荷造りを。遠いんだ。
Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry. We have to get to Churston before the murder.
That is an emergency. Point out that order is essential. その通り。Acknowledge は認めるだから Acknowledge that it's an emergency.
You're right, Hastings. It is an emergency.
At last, Poirot, you're being reasonable. Poirot, you were right. I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning. After the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two. Although I have very little doubt about what we will find.
どうやら30日を予告してるけど翌日に事件が起こるんじゃないかって言ったような気がする。分かんなかった。Compared new letter with the letter from ABC。新しい手紙を他の手紙と比べる。これまた机に戻る感じかな。あら。
It is not a good time.
あ、そうっすか。コンペアだからこれ。
Pour Mr. Poirot.
大丈夫。出かけてみようか。かわいそうなミスター。
Hastings, it would appear that you are getting slightly thin on top.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
It is not the right time.
とりあえず次は新しい手紙を他の手紙と比べるというのがタスクのようなので、ここからは次回にします。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。